Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Techno Talks here. So today I'm going to be doing a speed test between the LG Velvet 5G and the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus. So the S10 Plus was released around 2 years ago and the LG Velvet was released last year, and so they're both have been released for a while now. So first up, let's go ahead and talk about the specs. The S10 Plus has a Snapdragon 855 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and the LG Velvet has the Snapdragon 765G with 6 gigabytes of RAM. So it has less RAM and it does have the lower end chipset, but we might not see too big of a difference because when I did do a test with a better chipset device, we didn't see too big of a difference when I did it with my S21. So let's go ahead and see if there's a difference between these two. Well, the main difference will probably be seen in Geekbench 5 because that's going to be giving you the best display, the best way to display the scores, and so that's how we'll know which device is better and faster. So let's go ahead and begin. First up, as always, we begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and see. Okay, so LG Velvet S10 Plus. Let's go ahead and get these dust particles off there. And yes, I did crack my phone. It's been cracked for a while now, but that's okay. So we have our AT&T, and it seems like the LG Velvet just beat the S10 Plus. So the LG Velvet did turn on first, and the S10 Plus is still trying to turn on right now. Okay, so this turned on around like 6-7 seconds later, so the LG Velvet was faster, and it did manage to open up first. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right here, get both the phones turned on, and wait a little bit so they can both be optimized, all updates can be done, and I'm going to go ahead and do the speed test. So let's go ahead and pause the video right here, and I'll get back to you in a sec. So I now got both the phones turned on, and they're both ready. They've optimized, they've done their updates, they're downloaded whatever they needed to download after that restart, and so these phones both should be ready. So let's go ahead and check out our recent applications, and as you can see, we don't have anything there, so I've closed off everything and we can begin. So let's go ahead and begin with Snapchat in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was very similar, so I couldn't see a difference. So Instagram in 3, 2, 1. That seems like the LG Velvet right there. The S10 Plus did not load up. Let's go to Twitter in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was the LG Velvet. It got this see new tweets part first, and we can go ahead and click it right there. Let's go to YouTube in 3, 2, 1. Whoops. Let me go ahead and close off YouTube. Let's go to YouTube in 3, 2, 1. And the S10 Plus seems like it opened up first. Yep. Let's go to Amazon in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that was the S10 Plus again. Just by a slight difference though. Let's go to Best Buy in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that seems like... Okay, so that was very similar. They were loading up and changing some things, so I'm going to go ahead and call that a draw. Now we can go on to our game. So we have Among Us first. And seems like the LG Velvet might take it. Yep, the LG Velvet does take the lead right there. Now let's close off both these games. Let's go to Smash Your Road 1 to 2 in 3, 2, 1. So the S10 Plus does take the lead right there. It does manage to open it up first. And let's go ahead and close off both these games. So Subway Surfer in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's see which one loads in first. And that was the S10 Plus right there. So the S10 Plus did beat out the LG Velvet and Subway Surf. Let's go ahead and close out both these and go to Temple Run 2 in 3, 2, 1. So it's loading in first here, and the S10 Plus already got in. Okay, so that was the S10 Plus right there. Now let's exit out and go to our a little more demanding games like Detroit and PUBG Mobile in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it started loading. We got into the first screen on the S10 Plus and in 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and see. The S10 Plus seems like it's going to be beating it, and yes, the S10 Plus gets in just slightly faster than the LG Velvet. And might I say, the S10 Plus is performing really well because it's 2 years old. And when I did do my test with the S21, the S21 seemed like the LG Velvet did seem to catch up to the S21 on that video. So the S10 Plus seems like it's doing better when compared to that as of right now. So let's go ahead and open up PUBG Mobile in 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go and wipe the screen again. Just get those dust particles off. Okay, so the S10 Plus got into the loading screen, and they're both loading in now. It seems like the S10 Plus loaded in first, so the S10 Plus does take this right here, just by a slight bit, again, by 2-3 seconds. Okay, so we now finished going through all our apps, and we can conclude that the S10 Plus did win, especially with the games. Basically, every game it did open up first, other than Among Us. And so it also opened up some apps first on there as well, like Amazon. And so I'm going to go ahead and give that win to the S10 Plus. So it does take the first application opening test. And now we can go to our RAM management. So let's go and see which ones they kept open and did not. So kept open Snapchat. Let's go to Instagram. Was that a reload? Yeah, they both had a reload right there. Okay, so that's one reload for both of them. That's a reload for the LG Velvet, so 2-1 right now. YouTube, reload for the LG Velvet again. So the S10 Plus is keeping up those apps. So 1 reload for the S10 Plus right now and 2 reloads for the LG Velvet. Amazon Shopping. I believe that just refreshed that screen right there, so I'm not going to give that a reload. Best Buy had a reload on the LG Velvet, so that's 3 reloads. Among Us. Okay, so no reload on the LG Velvet. That's a reload for the S10 Plus right there. So 3-2 right now. Smash Your Road Wanted in 3, 2, 1. So they're both reloading this now. So 4 reloads for the LG Velvet and 3 reloads for the S10 Plus. Okay. Subway Surf. So another reload for both of them. 5 reloads to 4 reloads right now. Okay, Temple Run 2. And so the S10 Plus kept that open. So 6 reloads for the LG Velvet and 4 reloads for the S10 Plus. Okay, Dead Trigger 2. Okay, so they're both reloading. So they both had a reload. So 7 reloads now for the LG Velvet and 5 reloads for the S10 Plus. PUBG Mobile. So no reload for the S10 Plus, so that's going to be 4 reloads here and 8 reloads here. So the S10 Plus does beat it out again in the RAM management test, and so as of right now, it's taking the lead by 2-0. And so I'm going to go ahead and close out all these apps and just wait a couple minutes. And after I wait a couple minutes, so if these phones did heat up, I'm going to go ahead and go into Geekbench 5 and we'll run a CPU benchmark and check out the scores. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the video right here and get back to y'all in a couple minutes. So I went ahead and let both the devices sit for around like 2 minutes just to let them cool off a little. And now we can go ahead and go into Geekbench 5 and let's go ahead and check out our recent apps. I closed all of them. And so let's go ahead and open up Geekbench 5 and run our CPU benchmark. So this is going to be our final test, and whichever gets like the better score, I guess, is going to win. And as of right now, the S10 Plus is winning by 2-0. So app opening and RAM management was better on the S10 Plus. It did manage to open most of the apps faster, and also it did keep open most of the apps. So it kept open 4 apps compared to, it only had to reload in 4 apps compared to 8 apps on the LG Velvet. So the S10 Plus is winning by 2-0. And after this test is done, we'll go ahead and see which one takes the lead and wins. So it's going to be running some CPU benchmarks, I guess. So it's going to be testing out some things right here, as you can see. And so I'm going to go ahead and wait for this to end. And once this finishes, I'll get back to y'all and we'll go ahead and examine the scores. Both of the devices finally finished their test, and we can now go ahead and examine these scores and check out which one beats it. So from this we can already tell which wins, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about these real quick. So the single core score for the S10 Plus is 735, and for the LG Velvet it's 611. So the S10 Plus does take it right there. And for the multi-core score, we get a 2502 for the S10 Plus and a 1959 for the LG Velvet. So the S10 Plus does beat it by quite a bit on the multi-core score. So our final, I guess my final thoughts would be that the S10 Plus is better right now. It did beat it in all three of the tests. And so I'm going to go ahead and give the win to the S10 Plus. And so this will conclude our video. So the S10 Plus is the faster device, I guess, and the better device in terms of performance and speed. And so that's why I will give this win to the S10 Plus, and that will be the champion of this video. So that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.